Okay girlies, we're doing one of my favorite type of videos. We're doing a Chatty Get Ready With Me / story time girl chat. Talk about things that I feel like we should all be having conversations about, and I actually like to ask you guys topics that you want me to cover, and I was actually very honored by this request. One of you guys asked how you started feeling more comfortable in your own skin, and I say I'm honored because that means a lot. It means that I am reflecting that or projecting confidence, and I love that for me because confidence has been such a journey for me. I have really gone through the trenches when it comes to building my confidence at times, specifically with body image. So if you are someone who struggles with body image and that is like your main concern with feeling comfortable in your skin, I hope that this little chit chat, this little FaceTime, this girl chat can help you feel more comfortable within your skin. And yeah, let's just get into my own journey on feeling comfortable in my own skin. You guys, it is almost 7 p.m. and it's still so hot, so I have the hair up and out of the way and I'm ready to go. I feel like I can think when my hair is out of my face. Anybody else? I'm so excited about today's topic about feeling more comfortable in your own skin because it's a journey that I have personally gone on and like taken control of in my life. Some people could say that I come across as confident, and at times I also do feel confident, but it definitely was something I had to work on, especially when it came to body image. I will say that confidence is something that is kind of innately in you, but even though I feel it is more innate in some people, I do believe you can build your confidence 100%. So I'm gonna walk you guys through the ways that I kind of like built my own confidence, especially when it came to my body, because that is one thing that I was never ever confident in. I've always been a makeup girly. For those of you guys that follow me on every platform, you know beauty is like my main niche. And of course, I will admit I do feel more confident when I have my makeup done, but that's not to say that I don't feel confident without makeup, because I think that's a really important note, and it is something that I think about. And doing this topic right now is so funny because I am about to start my period, and I always hear on TikTok that the week before your period is like the most brutal and the most unrecognizable person that enters your life, that you're like, who is this person? And once it's over, you're so glad that they're gone. I, during this phase of my period, start to feel super self-conscious. I feel way more like bloated, and like when I look at myself, I just feel like a thicker, more full version. Like whenever I look in the mirror, I just like, I'm like, oh, like, you know, like it just doesn't look like me. But I know that this is just a thing that I go through monthly with my period, so that's important as well, not to kind of get stuck in our emotions and our thoughts for longer than they need to be, or like ruminate in our thoughts, you know. One thing that I will say that I think really helps is maturing and getting older. I can't say for sure you're gonna gain more confidence as you get older, because that may not necessarily be the case for everybody, but a lot of people that I've talked to and just noticed like throughout their life that as you get older as a woman, you just get more confident. Is it confidence, or is it caring less what other people think is the question. I don't know, it could be both. I think the freedom of not worrying about what everyone thinks of you can definitely make space for confidence, that's for sure. So it could be kind of like a mixture of both of them, but I will say I've never felt more confident than I do now because of, you know, experience, wisdom, and just age, you know. Like I think you get to a certain point where you just kind of, you have a choice to kind of love who you are or continue not liking who you are for superficial reasons. And I say have a choice because when we're younger, you know, in our 20s, we, you know, care a lot about how we look, how people perceive us. We put a lot of time and effort into our looks when we're younger because we have the energy to do so. And you know, look, you're never gonna be as young and hot as you are today, okay? And that's just a fact. So, but unfortunately, when you are like youthful and beautiful and smaller and all the things, you know, you kind of take it for granted, or you're in this mental place where you don't like yourself when you're at your like quote unquote peak, you know, when it comes to like your youthfulness. And that's just a journey that we all have to go through, you know, with age and with time, is those trials and tribulations of not liking ourselves, not liking who we see in the mirror, and like being extra critical, caring so much what other people think of us, things like that. So, you know, time and age really do change a lot of things in your life. So if you're still in your 20s and you're still battling this, I say have hope for the future, okay? But things that I actively did for myself to feel more confident when it comes to body image. So obviously, looking back on photos and stuff of myself now in high school, I'm so skinny. It's almost like unbelievable how skinny I was, but I could still vividly remember not feeling skinny, feeling fat, and comparing myself to my friends who were a lot more petite than I was. Stature is totally different, and I would always like compare myself and just feel like a giant ogre compared to a lot of my friends. So I spent a lot of my early 20s trying to lose weight. Like I just felt like I was constantly on this like weight loss journey. And at one point I actually, like during college, I gained a lot of weight. I guess you could call it like happy weight. I don't know. Me and Russ have been together so long, so I feel like we still get happy weight no matter what because we've been together so long. But at one point, like we did get really, really plump. So we kind of like went on a mission to lose a bunch of weight, and we did it together, and it helped that we were on this journey together. And we went really, really hard, and we lost a lot of weight. But I am someone who like, I enjoy working out to a certain extent and for a certain amount of time. And the time that I was spending in the gym, I could never do that again. Like never, 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 never again for me personally. Especially as you get older, you just have less time to do things like working out, you know? So of course, like every year as I got older, I just continued to gain the weight back. And as I'm gaining the weight back, I'm just in this like cycle of like gaining weight and wanting to lose weight. Okay, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds this year. My New Year's resolution, I can't even tell you how many years, was to lose weight. Like that was the only thing that I ever wanted to do in life. And it never happened. I just kept gaining weight. I finally got to this point. I don't know what it was that made me get to this point, but I felt frustrated. You know, when you get so frustrated, it's like you hit a wall because it's like, how many times am I gonna make this my goal and not have any results, and just like constantly be upset with myself, frustrated with myself, and hate myself over not losing weight, not looking the way I want to. And I think that cycle and hitting that wall made me have an epiphany, and like something broke in me in a good way, like something cracked open. And I was just like, I think I'm going about this wrong. I think I'm putting too much energy into hating myself and the way my body looks. And I need to be nicer to myself, because it's like, how can you change? How can you feel more confident? How can you get better if you're constantly in the mirror looking at yourself like, ew, you're so gross. Like, I hate you. I hate my body. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, when you really think about it, it doesn't make sense. If you're being mean to yourself, how can you be happy? How can you be the best version of yourself when you're your own biggest bully? And that really like changed something in me. I was doing makeup by then, and so I was already sharing like my face on like Instagram, my makeup looks. So like, again, sharing my face didn't bother me, sharing my makeup looks, but I would never do like neck down photos and like post them like I do nowadays on my Instagram. You guys, would never show my body on social media. Of course I would take pictures. Like, I wouldn't hide and not take pictures. I would always like take a photo for the memory. I wasn't like that. It wasn't that bad for me to where I would completely hide. But I just got to this point where I was like, okay, how long am I gonna feel like this? Like, what if I never lose weight? You know, like, so I'm like, you know, when you think about it, like, okay, what if I never lose weight? Am I never gonna be happy with myself? Am I never gonna be satisfied with myself? I just felt that seemed so wrong on so many levels, like criminal almost. Like, wow, that's really sad when you take a step back and really think about it. So what I did personally was I went on a mission. I set a goal for myself, a challenge for myself, if you will. Actually, it was more so a challenge, but it was to get dressed up. And I know it might sound like cheesy or corny, or like, who would do that? Like, why would I do that? And this is like, I was never a fashion influencer, a fashion creator, or anything. So I really did this just to feel more comfortable. So I got to this point where I was like, okay, how am I gonna feel more confident? And one thing that I know that is true is everything is a muscle in life. Anything that you want in life is just you kind of training a new muscle. So like having confidence in my body, having confidence in taking photos is going to take some working out to do. So what is working out? It's putting your reps in the gym, okay? And not literally in the gym, but doing things that make me uncomfortable. I feel like not enough people talk about this when it comes to confidence. We're so stuck on external things when it comes to confidence, but confidence is a mindset, and it really is just a muscle that you have to build within yourself. So I challenged myself to get dressed up in cute clothes that I wanted to wear. Like, I would hide in clothes, I would wear baggy clothes, I would just always like hide in oversized clothes. And I was like, I don't always want to dress this way. Like, do I enjoy dressing that way still? Yes, sometimes, but now I feel so much more comfortable wearing tighter clothes, crop tops, things that fit my body. And what I would do is get the outfits and go take photos. I would have Russ take photos of me, or I would just set up a tripod with my phone, even like in the backyard, and just pose. Just pose. Find different angles of my body that I did like in like photos or in the mirror. Like, I would really be practicing in the mirror, you guys. I still to this day can tell you 100% I don't like my body from every single angle, and you most likely will not see my body from every single angle because I don't like my body from every single angle. But there are angles that I do like, and I'm okay with being delusional enough to only look at the good in the situation, and that's what I do. And so I remember, like, I would go out and take pictures and learn how to pose. And you guys, I have gotten so much better at like posing in photos and just like posing my body to where it looks good. Like, I'm just gonna say it looks good, and I'm just like, wow. Because like, even for me, sometimes like I look back and I'm just like, or I look at photos and I'm just like, wow, like you really did that. Like, you really went into the gym, but not the actual gym. I really put in the reps to work on my confidence and posing and doing something that made me uncomfortable, that challenged me to grow and grow in a good way, grow in confidence. So that is something that I truly did. Like, it was something that I was able to set a plan for, take action, do it over and over and over until the point where I felt more comfortable and I felt more confident in myself, because I did something that challenged me and I got better at it and I got good at it, and I liked what I was seeing. Another thing that is really crazy, a little background of my story, if you guys don't know, I was a makeup artist before I was a content creator. So I would be around models all day long, like doing their makeup for shoots, and then like watching them work, take photos, pose, and I was always so inspired by it, studying them, and just always in awe, and just like, wow, like everyone was just so beautiful. And not because, and it wasn't because they were a model. I felt like what I was drawn to or attracted to while watching was seeing their confidence and seeing it through, like visually being able to see their confidence. And that's what made the photos good, you know, like that's what brought photos to life, was their confidence, like not even their looks, but just their confidence alone. So I was just always so inspired by that. And that also inspired me to like go out and like take photos of full body and really move around, get in the flow. So that is something that I actually did for myself to become more confident in my own skin, was I turned myself into a model strictly so I could like be on that confidence frequency. And then other things that started changing mindset wise and just like physically, I stopped making my goal to lose weight. I stopped that completely because I'm someone where if I set a goal and I don't reach it, I'm very hard on myself. And I feel like a lot of people are like that. We're either too scared to even set a goal, like we can't even set a goal because we're too scared to say it out loud, or we're constantly letting ourselves down because we didn't achieve it, because it's things that are out of our control. And of course, like, you know, losing weight and stuff like that is in our control to a certain extent though, with our resources and our knowledge on like health and body and care. So I stopped making it a goal to lose weight. Instead, I switched my mindset to making goals around things that made my body feel good, workouts that made my body feel good, eating that made my body feel good. And it's crazy how much that changed. Like that changed me so much in the last like 3 years or so. I started taking the photos in like 2019, sort of, maybe 2020, 2021. I started doing the photos actually. And then the goals started afterwards. I just started focusing more so on my health. And I think as I got older, again, something about getting older and you realize like you're not going to be young forever. Being in my 30s now, I can wholeheartedly tell you your body is not the same as it was in your 20s. So many things change, your energy level, your metabolism, like everything changes, and it's a hard pill to swallow. At least it was for me, who's someone who has always considered themselves somewhat health conscious and somewhat active. Like I did always love going to the gym. I did weight training in high school. I continued going to the gym all throughout like my 20s. So I would always go to the gym. I've always lifted weights and stuff, even though I don't look like it. But I would always do that because that's how I learned how to like work out. So then I started just honestly being nicer to myself, setting more appropriate goals that I felt were more based on how I felt versus how I looked. So I stopped going for like physical results, external appearance, and more so internal things, like how I felt, how it made me feel, and just being able to set goals that I was able to, you know, accomplish and stick to. There's so much power in setting your mind to something and accomplishing it. It will give you so much confidence, just like doing things that make you uncomfortable. Facing your fears give you confidence. Doing things that make you uncomfortable give you confidence. And also accomplishing things give you confidence. Those are 3 things that can give you confidence and that are mental more so than physical. So doing things like that, no matter what it's in, whether it's like working out or just like forcing yourself to be uncomfortable, be okay with being uncomfortable, and keeping promises to yourself is a huge deal. And that's what accomplishing things is like. It's keeping a promise to yourself, and you will start to feel so much better about yourself when you do these things. Like 100%, even better than if you were to like lose 15 pounds in a month. I think these things are so much more powerful for your actual confidence and how you feel comfortable with yourself. Because right now I feel like there's a lot of focus and emphasis on changing your physical appearance through cosmetic surgery and even like makeup, you know, like that could fall under there. Like I don't want to be naive to the point where I can't admit that makeup also falls under that umbrella of like cosmetic surgery or enhancing your looks of some sort, because it does fall under that umbrella. But there's just, The access to changing your looks is so easy these days. It's actually quite scary. And I feel like if we really pay attention to these things and the people who do these things, they don't ever truly feel fulfilled afterwards, and they just want more of it because they're just never happy. And it's because they're not happy internally. When you're fixing things externally but you're not happy internally, whatever you're doing externally isn't going to fix the internal stuff that's going on with yourself. And so that's why it's so sad to me that there's such an emphasis on cosmetic surgery, external appearance, like changing yourself externally, even like working out and going to the gym and losing weight or Ozempic. So many different things that we're focusing on the wrong thing, when really confidence comes from within. And that's why I say I do believe some people do naturally or innately have more confidence than others, but it is something that you can grow over time. That's my true belief, my opinion. I really started focusing on my inner self-talk, and I would catch myself when I was being mean to myself. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel so gross, or like I noticed that I would be super hard on myself. I am someone who is very hard on themselves. Naturally, I'm very critical. As a Virgo, I'm very critical on myself and others, especially when I'm feeling extremely critical of my own self and it's overflowing to where I start becoming critical of others. That's when I know there's something bothering me about myself. But once I started doing that and like being nicer to myself, having more grace and compassion for myself, I instantly started feeling better and feeling more confident. It was like night and day when I really sit back and think about it. Like the impact that self-talk has on you, whether it's positive or negative, is insane. And you really just have to monitor those thoughts and counteract them. Like, I love affirmations. I am an affirmation girly. I do think they truly help, but in order for affirmations to help, you really have to understand and believe that the inner critic in your head, that voice that is being mean, the negative self-talk, is just a voice. It's just thoughts. They're not things that are true. They're things that you're thinking, but they're not necessarily true. So in order for affirmations to work, you have to know that the current thoughts you're having aren't true. They're not your real thoughts. And you have to believe that you can replace them with other thoughts, which are affirmations. When you start changing your inner critic to a more positive critic, you will want to be nicer to yourself, not just in your thoughts, but in your actions as well. So I do feel that when you're in a more healthy mindset, you know, you're taking care of yourself, you've made goals to like take care of yourself and like do little things like do your workouts, do your walks, you're also inclined to eat better, to just make better choices overall for your health. And that's just like one of the beautiful like snowball effects of being nicer to yourself and making better decisions. Once you start making better decisions in one area of your life, it's going to snowball into other areas of your life, and it's going to become easier and easier to make these better choices for yourself. It really is just a matter of taking action. So many of us live in our heads for too long, and we don't take the step to take action to get ourselves out of the loop that we're in, whether it's like the negative self-talk, the no confidence, you know, the not doing anything for your health, whether it's mental, physical, eating right or eating better. You know, all of these things tie in together to how you feel mentally, emotionally, physically. We have to do things with good intentions, and we have to feel good about the things that we are doing in order for them to work for us. So having a positive mindset is number one, is key to feeling more comfortable in your skin and gaining confidence. And I know this is a lot about like working out, health, body image, and all of that, because that has been my personal journey that I have had to overcome and work on in order to become comfortable in my skin, because I wasn't always this comfortable in my skin when it came to showing my body. And these are all the things that I did to really make a difference in feeling comfortable in my own skin. It has to do with your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your physical health, all of them tied together. And when you're aligned in that way, I feel that confidence comes more naturally. Feeling comfortable in yourself also comes more naturally when you're taking care of yourself in all aspects. When I really think about it and when I explain it to people, it's just like, imagine someone being like a mother being so mean to their child. Like, do you think that they're going to thrive? Do you think they're going to feel confident? Of course not. Like, they're being bullied constantly, and that's what we're doing to ourselves every time we are having negative self-talk, or we're self-sabotaging ourselves by not doing the exercise, the healthy movement, whatever it is that makes you feel good. You just have to move your body, and shaming yourself for messing up on your diet, or, you know, things like that. And yeah, it just really comes down to being nicer to yourself, because when you're nicer to yourself, you're going to treat yourself better in all ways. I feel like I've said that like a million times now, but I really just want to hone in on that fact. Is it's as simple as getting control of your thoughts and making them more positive thoughts. It will overall change your outlook on yourself and how comfortable you feel with yourself. And hopefully as you get older as well, you just stop caring so much about what other people think, and just working on yourself. When you are constantly working on yourself, you're doing all the things that you can to be balanced, to be healthy, to be proud of yourself. You will feel so much more confident and comfortable in your skin, because you know as a person that you are doing all the things that you possibly can to be balanced and healthy and harmonious in yourself. And it really reflects like when you are doing these things on the outside. And that's why like cosmetic surgery, makeup, the gym could never do any of this, okay? If you're doing it for the wrong reasons, or if you're doing it for a quick fix. And that does bring me back to talking about cosmetic surgery and makeup. I'm a makeup girl. I love makeup. I love the art of it. I do love the transformation of it. And sometimes, I will admit, you guys, I start to get so used to myself in makeup where I don't like myself without makeup. I'm just like, ew. Or like, you know, that week before my period, I am a little like, ew, like just nitpicking myself. And I catch myself. I'm like, girl, let's reel it in. Let's be a little bit nicer. And I will challenge myself to not wear makeup for a couple days if I'm starting to feel that way, because it's important to not get comfortable on these crutches, these external crutches of things that make us feel confident, like fake confidence, and really address the internal issues that you're having with yourself. And that will go so much farther than any quick fix or external fix that you could do for yourself. So that is just my journey on how I started to feel more comfortable in myself. I feel so much more confident now. Of course, I'm not confident all the time. I think it's important to mention that, because no one is confident all the time. It's okay to not be confident all the time. No one feels confident every day, not even like the people you think, celebrities, Victoria's Secret models, whatever your ideal vision of confidence is in a person. No one feels it every single day, but there are things that you can do daily to work on yourself to where you do feel confident. And yeah, that's my little pep talk, my little background, my little story time on confidence and being comfortable with yourself in your own skin. And this is the only little skin body that you get. So be nice to it. Your body is a temple. They say that for a reason. So treat it nicely, treat yourself nicely, and you will really see that reflect on the outside. I am 100% sure of it, because when I'm feeling super happy, super aligned, mentally, physically, spiritually, people will comment on like, oh my gosh, you're glowing. Like, I'm telling you, people can see that energy coming from you, and it's more than anything, more like makeup couldn't even do that, right? Like, it's just an energy that confidence and alignment carries that you want to work towards. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little Chatty Get Ready with Me story time. chit chat. I love doing these. I feel like I should turn this into a podcast. Highly considering it. One thing I'm trying to do less is asking like, should I do this? And just doing whatever I feel. Not that I don't want your guys' opinions, but I don't always want to be like so unsure of myself where I'm like, what do you guys think? You know? And just do things. So there's that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you guys something to think about and reflect on in your own life and journey. And I wish you guys all the light and love. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.